Internet, it's Michaela back again with another video, and today we're going to be making some gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. So to start, I'm just going to get into it. I just have my laptop over here so I can see the recipe. I've never used this recipe before. Hopefully it turns out good. You never know with the gluten-free cookies, like they can either be really good or just like bad. Okay. Preheat oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get out the other ingredients just so I'm not like running back and forth. So give me a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we have all of our ingredients ready, I forgot to say, but like make sure you wash your hands, obviously. Now we need a bowl. This says to use a hand mixer. This is fancy. Okay, so I have this thingamajig. This is a hand mixer, but it's not the KitchenAid thing, so it's not as heavy. Alright, I found a plug across the kitchen, and if you hear jingling, it's my dogs. They're chilling. Also, like, excuse my hair today, because it's a mess. Oh, it's so perfect. So as I was saying before I had to let my dog out, excuse my hair, please. I literally just cut it a few days ago. I had a breakdown, tried to cut a mullet. The mullet did not work out, obviously, so now I have this until like I go get it fixed or I just like figure out how to fix it myself. So yeah, bear with me for this. I don't know what to do with it. It's just kind of there. Okay, so now we're supposed to take our little hand mixer and we're gonna put the butter and I think the sugar on medium speed until soft, smooth, creamy, and evenly incorporated. I don't really do butter. I don't really do dairy. It just doesn't agree with me. Like, believe me, if I could, I would. Most of the time I just use like olive oil instead of butter. But I don't know, the last time I made cookies with, I'm dropping this. Last time I made cookies with olive oil, it like, they came out weird. I don't know, it just didn't work. So I have this like vegan butter that I use when I make toast or whatever. You know, when you make toast. But I've never used it for baking before. But I'm thinking maybe I'll give it a go. The only thing is this calls for a half a cup. But it makes 32 cookies. This makes 32 cookies.
32.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna half this. I'm gonna half this recipe. So, okay, so I need 1/4 cup of butter. Let's go. I think it's about to start raining too. I'm excited. TBH, baking hits different when it's raining outside or like just stormy days. I don't bake a lot, but I definitely don't want to bake when it's sunny outside. That's just not fun to me. Hey, oven's done. I feel like this is not what you're supposed to be doing. As I said, I don't bake a lot. I'm really good at baking banana bread. Maybe I'll do that next time. Probably should have done that this time, but I thought it would be adventurous and bake some cookies with y'all. I don't know if I mentioned that they're gluten-free. I'm making gluten-free cookies because I am gluten-free. Because like with dairy, it just doesn't, gluten just doesn't sit well with me. The good thing about this vegan butter is it gets so soft so fast. Like you don't have the thing with normal butter where you're trying to spread your cold butter on your bread and it just tears up the bread. Not with vegan butter. Now we need 1/2 cup. I'm just gonna fill this 1/3 cup measure halfway because I'm splitting the recipe in half. I'm a big believer in eyeing it, you know, when you're baking, when you're cooking. Eyeing it, guesstimating, however you want to call it. I know it's like science, baking is science, but rules are for losers. Measurements, overrated. So now we need 2/3 cup of light brown sugar packed. Whoa, that was really loud, sorry. But half of 2/3, so just 1/3. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, now we're gonna whisk, whisk, whisk. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Okay, so bad news. how to use this whisk. It's not even a whisk. The hand mixer. Good news, it's raining. Okay, so I don't know if this is the evenly incorporated that the recipe was saying, but it looks pretty good to me. I think I did a good job. Spatula. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to mix it a little bit more with this spatula, just because that little hand mixer, not it. That looks pretty good though. So now we're gonna add the room temperature egg. Not gonna toss this, maybe I am. And the vanilla extract. And we're gonna turn the mixer back on. Okay, so the little hand mixer is back, but this time with a different attachment because I think this will work a lot better. So we're gonna crack in the egg. Pretty solid egg crack. And now that we have our egg in there, we're gonna add, oh shoot, forgot I was halving the recipe and I just added a whole egg. Whoopsie daisy. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. We're gonna add a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm just gonna guesstimate what half of this teaspoon looks like. Because I don't know where the half teaspoon measurements are. That looks like half, I think. So now we have our vanilla and egg and butter and sugar. And we're gonna whisk it again. I don't know what I'm doing. This baking area is becoming very messy very quickly. Whoops. So now we're gonna add our dry ingredients to our little evenly incorporated mixture. So the recipe says 1 3/4 cups of gluten-free flour, but since I'm halving this, that's gonna be half and 1. Who knows? That's about half. And then 1 1/2 I don't know, I'm not good at math. I'm just gonna do a heaping fourth, and I think that should be fine. As I said, yeah, baking's a science, but is it really? No. And now we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So that, for us, that's half a teaspoon. This is gonna go everywhere. Why do they make baking soda containers like this? Like, they make them like this so you pour it and it just goes everywhere. There's no good way to get baking soda out. And then my little secret baking trick is that I always do baking soda and baking powder. I know that they do completely different things, but I just find that everything always, like, the texture's always better if I just add both. But I'm just gonna add 1/4 teaspoon because you really don't want that much. So now, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We definitely don't need to measure that out. Just gonna. So now we're gonna go back. Ooh, it's getting really dark outside. Hopefully the lighting hasn't changed that much. It definitely has, so I'm sorry. Everything's fine. So we're coming back over here to our little hand whisk. And we're gonna whisk it. It was a very violent whisking, but I think it's done. The recipe said just to do it until it was all together. Obviously it's bad to over whisk. And you like mess up how much the cookies rise or whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna add the chocolate chips, aka the best part. And the recipe calls for 1 1/2 cups. So we're gonna do like half a cup and a little bit extra. Okay, so now we're just literally just folding in the chocolate chips. Again, you really don't wanna overmix. So that's done. There's really not much dough here because I did half the recipe, but I thought it would be a lot more. Oh wow. All right, so now we're gonna get our cookie pans out. Okay, so I've got my cookie pan with some parchment paper, and I'm just gonna spoon the cookies onto the tray. Okay, so now we have 1 baking tray of cookies, and I'm just gonna real quick go ahead and put the rest of the batter on a second tray. Okay, so I have our second and not quite as full cookie tray, and also the rain stopped. So hopefully the lighting's a little bit better now. Okay, so now we're just gonna put our 2 cookie pans in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm gonna start with 10. Okay, so now all that's left to do is wait for 10 minutes until the cookies are done. Cue waiting montage. Knock knock, who's there? Cow says. Cow says who? Cow says. Knock knock. knock. Who's there? Cash. Cashew. No thanks. Awesome. Okay, so they look great, but I'm just gonna do the little toothpick thing just to see if they're done. Okay, so the toothpick test was a success, so the cookies are done. So I'm gonna go grab the other tray. Alright, so they look awesome. Honestly, I was worried. I was very worried for them because I do not have the best track record with baking, but I think they look great. But of course, the ultimate test is the taste test. It tastes great. It tastes amazing. I just took a little bit because obviously they need to cool. But it tastes great. Ow. They're very hot though. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. It's okay, I don't care. And if you want to see more of me, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn my notifications on. I'll see you guys next time.